All right. Looks like I'm live. I'm trying StreamYard right now, the free version. So you guys, once again, please let me know if you can hear me. I've never used StreamYard before. Come on. Hopefully this is working. John Doe, can you hear me? Loud and clear. Thank you, Time Pilot. Okay. So the leaks were 100% right. I'm not surprised, really, because it looked like it was pretty accurate. Hopefully this is working well. Yeah, look, I can even show comments on the screen now, so that's cool. I don't pay for StreamYard, so we have that stupid watermark right now, but that's fine. This is just going to be a kind of a, I'm going to try to limit this stream to about 20 minutes so we can talk about what just came out, since we've already kind of talked about all this, but I'm going to talk about it. I've already recorded a video. I just have to go downstairs and edit it after this, but I figured let's talk about it first. Kevin Leonard, how's it going? John Doe's here. C. Slavin 15 is here. I noticed some other stuff going on. Okay. So with this deal, I can 20 minutes make it 1 hour. I'm sorry, John, I can't do that. But with StreamYard, I can show you guys what I'm looking at too. So let me take this off the screen now. There we go. Let's start with, I guess, Pac-Man, since we're there. Ms. Pac-Man, let me get that out of the way. Pretty cool. I mean, it's a good-looking cabinet. My wife was watching the announcement with me and was like, I wish she wants the cabinet because it looked really cool, but she doesn't care that much about Pac-Man because we're both too young for it. So I don't think I'll be getting this one, but it looked really, really nice. Let me see if you guys have any comments about it. That Miss Pac-Man would definitely get you laid, John Doe. That'd be cool. Oh, okay, Zach, good point. Wonder if there's going to be a surprise announcement before IGN ends. I'm kind of with you guys. Let me go back to my big head here real quick. Remove that from the stream. Okay. So it seemed like there was going to be a little bit more to that. Like it's going to blow you away. It's a huge stream. Now, Ms. Pac-Man's a big game for a lot of people. Still, like I said, Buck Hunter is the biggest thing for me, but we're going to get to Buck Hunter in a minute. But the Pac-Man is not that much interesting for me, but I guess it's a big deal that they did get it. So let's go back and look really quickly. It looks great. The art looks really good, I think. Very accurate looking controls. It looks nice and clean. Everything looks really good. So I don't think we need to say much more about Ms. Pac-Man. It's a good one, and I'm excited for it. Now let's move on to the pinball. Pinball is very similar to all the other pinball announcements. However, they didn't address this plunger deal right here. I don't know what to think of the plunger. Is it a real plunger this time? Is it not? Who knows? Let's scroll through some of the pictures. They did say, again, 24-inch play field, which is nice. Recessed screen, which I like there. The screen on the back, which is funny, it actually says 2 credits. I wonder if you're going to put credits into this thing or if it's just going to be on free play all the time. Probably free play. Just like the other pinball machine, it's going to have 10 tables in it, which is nice. So we'll move on from that, really. One issue I'm having so far is I don't really like how the play field doesn't look just like you're looking at a pinball machine. It looks like a video game pinball machine. I want it to kind of resemble the pinball table. This kind of looks more like, what am I trying to say? Oh, Zen Pinball. It looks like the Zen Pinball on like the Xbox or PlayStation. 2 speakers on the front there, which is nice. The haptic feedback is going to be really cool. Again, how are you guys going to get this thing out with haptic feedback, nudge detection, all that stuff at $500? So we're going to see. I have a weird feeling it's going to be probably $600, but who knows? It's very nice, though. Let's move on. Let me go back to the chat and make sure I'm not missing anything here. Let's see. Yeah, you agree. C. Slavin 15, too young, but super sweet looking. I agree. It's very nice. You would buy John Doe would buy the Pac-Man at a special price. I really don't know if that's going to be in stores, though, so it's hard to say. Oop. Oh, Eddie, I guess the chat moved. Eddie's going to pass on the pinball. I want to see more about it. I kind of want to buy it right away because I'm going to buy it. I want to buy it and talk about it on the channel and do it before everyone else gets to. All right. Zach, you're pretty iffy on the virtual pinball. Just isn't the same. Yeah, it may end up looking kind of weird, especially if they can really get the zero lag down. I'm very excited for it. Now, something tells me I'm buying it either way because it's got Star Wars on it when that one comes out. But they said fall for all these cabinets, which is interesting. So let me move over to the next cabinet I want to talk about. Street Fighter, X-Men versus Street Fighter cabinet. Now, the more I think about this, is it kind of weird they didn't do the Marvel versus Capcom look on the actual cabinet? Maybe they're going to have different versions of it. Let me go here. But yeah, it's the exact, like someone just stole these pictures probably from their website and leaked them out earlier is what we were looking at. And I didn't even think to check the website. Maybe it was already up for all we know. Or maybe someone in a weird time zone was able to see it before everyone else. It's a good looking cabinet though. I really like the art. I'm never a Street Fighter guy really. I mean, I can agree it's a good game. Just never really got too into it. But I think it looks like that. Right there, it looks really cool. It would look really good in someone's house, I imagine. I think this one's going to make people pretty happy. I don't know if it blows anyone's minds. And once again, they didn't say, is it going to have online play just like Street Fighter? They didn't dive into that. Who knows? So I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't give us more info. Maybe more info is coming in the next couple days, months. Who knows? Let's go back to what we're looking at here. It looks great. It's got 4 games in it. I think people are going to like those 4 games a lot. And that's about all I can say about that. Not to sound like Forrest Gump here. Now, this is the one I really, really want to talk about. Not that I'm a huge Buck Hunter fan, but this is an interesting cabinet. It's by far, well, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it's by far the most different cabinet they've ever released visually. The monitor's higher. I think it looks like it's going to be higher than any other cabinet they've ever released. Star Wars is probably a close second. It's instead of being tilted in any way, it's like looking right at you, which is perfect for a shooting game. They did show a teaser video of it, and it kind of showed pump action shotgun, which I was wondering about. So that's really cool. They got the pump action in there. Let me change the image here. The speaker right there in the middle, that's kind of nice, and it looks like it's a good size speaker. And it tells you, just like the arcade, pump to reload after every shot, shoot bucks, avoid does. Now let's talk a little about the graphics in these games. I am not a Buck Hunter aficionado, as I've already said, but this game seems to have some pretty nice graphics, unless that's just like a placeholder image, which it could be. What hardware is in this cabinet that's going to make a game look that nice? Makes me wonder if Raw Thrills got with them and was like, hey, we're going to give you our hardware. We've got some hardware that we can just throw inside of this, and it's cheap enough. And Arcade1Up said, sure, we're going to do that. Maybe they're finally starting to step up the hardware a little bit, which could mean bigger games coming in the future like Killer Instinct, all those games that need more power, Blitz, and everything. But what I want to know, and of course I'm not surprised they didn't talk about, is how on earth do these light guns work? Let me see. Is it zooming in for you guys? Okay, it is. So when you're zoomed in here, I'm assuming these are just screw holes right here on the top and bottom of the screen. So I don't think that's a sensor. Either there's a sensor somewhere we're not seeing, or somehow this doesn't need a sensor, and it's like an old school light gun where it's just reading the screen. All of this stuff is baffling to me at the moment. I want to know how this works. It's really driving me nuts. Maybe they'll tell us a little bit more in the future, but so far we don't know much about it. The stocks do show Big Buck Hunter on the side here. I'm not familiar with any of these games. Maybe you guys can tell me in the chat, which I cannot see. Let me go back over here. Yeah, okay, so let me just go back up the chat a little bit. You guys seem to be pretty excited about that one. Time Pilot, you need to see the gameplay for pinball. I agree. Okay, I'm just trying to catch up a little bit. Oh, John Doe. I'm sorry, I'm still catching up. The trailer, okay, the trailer showed 2 different cabs. I'm sure you're talking about the X-Men versus Street Fighter, or yeah, that one. And yeah, I think you're right. Maybe that's why I'm confused there. And yeah, so moving down here, needs Wi-Fi. Nicholas Cruz, definitely right about that. Nothing revolutionary. I'm going to go down here. Okay, John Doe, will you mod the Buck Hunter to Carnival? That's a great question. Probably not, because I still want to do my vision of what I want my shooter to look like. I don't know if I'll buy this thing. I want to know how it works so badly that if they didn't tell me, I I might buy it and just sell the thing just so I could know, but I'd take a huge hit probably on that. Nicholas Cruz, you love the speaker in the middle. I agree. That's very arcade or very Area 51 of them to have the screen or the speaker right there in the middle of the control deck. You're thinking it's $500, Nicholas Cruz, possibly. Eddie Baxter, you need to GoFundMe for all this stuff here. Okay, so Time Pilot, you would love to see Carnival. You might see my Carnival before this is all over with. Probably going to see my Carnival before you'll ever see Arcade1Up's Carnival. Okay, John Doe. I don't have that kind of money, John. I'm so sorry. I cannot go. You can't come to my house and I can't buy as much cabinets. It'd be really cool, though, if Arcade1Up would step up and be like, hey, yeah, we can do a giveaway on the channel, and they'll ship it to you guys in a box. That'd be really cool. Maybe I'll bug them about that, and they'll just not reply, as they usually do. Arcade Chaos looks sweet. I agree. I'm going to go back to that screen, actually. I am not Epstein's right-hand man. No. I don't know. I don't want to know what he did with that right hand or his man. Yeah, zooming in, I'm really, really interested in this. The marquee is way bigger. I don't know why I'm so interested in this other than the light gun technology. I don't get how it works. I can't wait to see it. And it makes me wonder, is anyone ever going to play this game off of the riser? So I know they can't build these with a riser because it causes some things that are different. So the riser has to be there, basically, or they have to change the licensing fee. Excuse me. Oh, Big Buck Safari Outback. I did not see that. So if you see my video that I quickly threw together on this, you're going to be correcting me probably. I'm sorry I'm obsessing over this so much, but I really want to know how this thing works. Let me tell you what, guys. In the chat, oh, I didn't realize you couldn't see the screen. Could you? Either way. Let me know what you guys think. How do you think this Buck Hunter works? Is it going to be some kind of sensor that's built in that we just can't see in those pictures, or they haven't put it in on the pictures? Is it maybe kind of a different look? I would assume it's going to sit underneath the marquee if it's a sensor, or do they have some kind of technology that they've come up with or that Raw Thrills has come up with? Because Raw Thrills still makes arcade games. They make all the shooters that are out there now. I've seen sensors on some of their arcade games, but I've never really paid too close attention to them. Oh, okay, here's a good one. They stole some Sinden tech. That's interesting. I was sitting here wondering, did that guy get contacted and be like, hey, we want your technology and we'll pay you for it, but I don't think it's ready for that kind of production yet. Oh, John Doe, my 1-ups are 5 point. How is that possible? 5.5 feet high? You must have added something to them. Okay, hold on. Arcade Chaos, you're not trying to be funny, but for small people and tiny people, I understand what you're saying. That's true. As I was saying it, I thought about that. Or like people maybe who are in wheelchairs who just, it's up on a riser. What are they going to do? Point the gun up there? So maybe you're right on that. This could be, in a weird way, like an handicap accessible light gun game. Maybe the first ever, for all I know. Unless, I guess that's not true. The sit-down Jurassic Park games, you can sit inside the arcade. That could be accessible too. Oh, John Doe's 6 feet tall. That's right. You added 6-inch cabinet legs to the riser. Man, that's crazy. I can't play your arcades, John. They're too tall. Justin, would I ever use Sinden? Absolutely. I have my, I'm sure you've seen it, but I showed this earlier. I just have it laying around in here on the floor. I have my aim track gun now. I like it. And I'll probably build my cabinet with it unless Sinden has like a huge release all of a sudden and I can go grab them. But so far I'm happy with the aim track, but those are definitely going to be better guns. So I will use them in the future for sure. So let me see if I can show this screen one more time. I know I'm obsessing over this, but I'm dying to know how it works. I do have notes that I took. Now, Scott Backrack says, I'm looking at my phone here. I'm sorry. He says that he does not know. They ask him, how does this light gun stuff work? He acts like he doesn't know. He's basically like, oh, I'm not the tech guy. I don't know that stuff. And he's probably not lying. But I bet he knows a little bit about how it works, and maybe he can't say how it works because Raw Thrills might have that technology. They may own that technology, and they're just licensing it to them now. Either way, I'm very interested because anytime I've ever seen a light gun game on an LCD that was boxed in like a store and it goes out, say it was like the Time Crisis for PlayStation 3. You had to use the move camera. It had to be on your TV. So the camera is seeing where the little ice cream scoop is pointing. They just released, PDP just released some light gun games for the Xbox and PlayStation. It came with what looks like a little webcam that faces the screen. I guess it reads something that the gun is pointing on the screen and knows where it's pointing. Sorry, I'm reading a comment while I'm trying to talk. So all these things rely on either a sensor bar like the Wii, some kind of camera reading the motion of where it is. So I don't know how. Now, Sinden Light Gun uses something that actually sees the screen. I think it sees that white border around the screen, so the gun kind of knows where it's pointing, and it seems to be very accurate and very fast. I think if they're going to do Buck Hunter, I don't think the aim track light gun style stuff is going to work for most people. You got a bright window facing at you while you're playing, or there's too much light in the room, the gun may not work properly, people are going to get frustrated, call it a piece of crap, and never use it again. So that's interesting. Now I'm sorry, I want to read Arcade Chaos here. I think it's amazing, freaking looking. Are you kidding me? It's colorful, gorgeous. I think you might be talking. Oh, you're talking about. Oh, okay, talking about Buck Hunter. Okay, I thought you were talking about Pac-Man. I like how it looks too. I mean, it's really good. I have a friend who's like a permanent bachelor, as I call him now. He does have a girlfriend now, but this dude's like makes good money, has all kinds of party houses and stuff. And as soon as I saw that leak, my wife sent him the link, and he's like, "Oh yeah," because he's always playing Buck Hunter when he goes to bars. So I think he would actually buy this. This could get a lot of guys who didn't care at all about Arcade1Up to say, "Oh, I'm going to buy a little arcade cabinet." They don't even know it's Arcade1Up. They're just going to buy it. Same thing with probably what happened with Golden Tee. I bet it attracted a lot of people. Oh, smart. I'm assuming that's S. Martinez, but it could be Smartinez. It's Marvel Baby. Yeah, I'm sure you're very excited about that. A lot of people are going to love that too. Hold on, Tony G. The first two pick on the website show a sensor. I'm trying to find. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to go look again at that really quick. I'll zoom in for you guys if I can and see it. The first two. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. Okay, would that be these first two pictures? I don't know. I'll go with this one because you can see it. I don't know if you're talking about this area right here underneath where it kind of, I think that's a shadow. So, and I see screw holes there. Unless these aren't screws, which is possible. Maybe there are a bunch of different like infrared sensors or lights that you can't see. I want to hear what you think of that, Tony. Let me know. No. Oh, Zach's more excited to see my shooter cat than any of this stuff. Well, thank you, Zach. I'll put that on the screen for a second. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see it too. I sure wish I'd never said anything about it because I feel so bad. Like I'm doing a clickbait move or whatever. Like, I'm going to do this, and I keep talking about it, and I haven't done it. We're going to figure this out. Arcade Chaos, this was your brother-in-law's favorite game. Nicholas Cruz, I guess you love the Golden Tee. Oh, hold on. Trying to catch up again, sorry. Okay, Tony, you were thinking it was there? Yeah, I was too, and really, I assume they're screws. Now, they may not be screws for all I know, because now I'm looking back at mine, there's only 4 screws on the front, so you might be right, actually. These may, let me go back to that picture. Oh, get out of the way. Let me get a different angle here. No, that's too far away. Need to get closer. Okay. That seems like an awful lot of screws now that I think about it to hold the monitor on, especially since the monitors have those little brackets in the back that really hold the monitor. The only thing that holds the 4 screws in the front of a current Arcade1Up is to hold the plexiglass screen cover and the art and all that. So now that I think about it, these 4 on the bottom, 4 on the top, 2 on the sides, that could easily be the sensor. That could be some kind of IR system that the gun, wherever the gun's pointing, it sees these IRs and knows where it's shooting. I wish I'd put all this together before I just recorded that video. So Whatever, though. It's not a big deal. But see, in the dark, right here, it's kind of in the shade. And even up here, you can see what looks like a reflection, some kind of light. So the more I think about it, it could have something to do with some kind of IR sensor. I have a Buck Hunter for the Xbox 360 that used Connect, and it's the most ridiculous gun. It's in the other room. I wish I had it on me. But it has these like, fold out things. It has 3 lights on it, and the Connect would see the lights and where you are. It really didn't work that well, but yeah. So maybe it's a similar system, but maybe the guns, let's think about this. Maybe the guns themselves, the tip of the gun, the barrel, may actually have a camera in it, like not a high-end camera or anything, but maybe it'll see those IR lights and know roughly where it's pointing. Let's hope it's accurate, because if not, people are going to be pissed. Justin, you agree it looks like a sensor? I think we've solved this almost right here. I feel like those are sensors. Yeah, oh man, I am man, Vendel NF Gaming, big Arcade1Up. I think it is. It looks like it's going to be a little bit bigger than maybe most. You know, Star Wars is currently the tallest cabinet, and it's only about 3 inches taller than a regular one. But man, you look at that marquee on top there. That marquee sits up. So I guess the normal marquee would usually end about here at the top of the wood. This thing goes even higher. I think you're right. This is a big one. Now the bottom looks shorter, almost similar to the Star Wars style. And now that I think about it, the front of this panel here where the guns go in kind of looks like a Star Wars front panel where the yoke is. So maybe this is going to be about the same height as Star Wars. It's hard to say. I'm sorry. I wasn't even showing you guys. I just realized. I'm a terrible producer. But yeah, it's definitely taller here. The front panel looks like the Star Wars, and the kick plate looks short. The Star Wars kick plate's a little bit shorter than most. Oh, okay. Chris A, yes, the leak is real, absolutely real. And I had a feeling they were right, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. Let me see what John's saying here. Chris, just get the Buck Hunter and go Carnival to become better than all the retro Ralph shoddy mods. Oh, Ralph makes good mods, man. Not a Ralph fan, I guess. I think Ralph has like moved on anyway. Ralph talks about Arcade1Up still, but if you've noticed, he's buying a lot of real arcades, which has me kind of jealous. I wish I could have real arcades, but he's buying like Rush. I would love to have San Francisco Rush, but yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to probably wrap this in the next 5-10 minutes here. So any final thoughts you guys have, any final questions? Sorry I talked way too much about the Buck Hunter, but I think the Buck Hunter has been kind of solved as far as that goes. I think it's actually sensors around that screen instead of screws. I don't know what I was thinking there. Anything else? Okay, Time Pilot. When shooting buckshot, you don't have to be accurate. That's true. That is pretty true. You can kind of hit a wide area and all that. Let's see, Christopher Boyd. My guess is that it is oh God, I'm not even going to try to say that word. Some kind of special screen, like a touch screen. It's tuned to the lights wavelength from the gun on the big butt. Okay, maybe. That's very possible. You may know more than I do on that one. Yeah, that dude. Now, I will say, you said here, you hope they reveal more gun games in the future and that the sensors work well. Now, if you listen to what Scott said, he said this is our first step into light gun games. So Scott Bacharach, the CEO, did say that I don't know if that admits they're working on other stuff, which they have to be, I'm sure. You don't really just make one style cabinet and not make any more. So it's very possible that they're already looking at new Arcade1Up shooter cabinets. So that's really cool. I don't think you're going to see Area 51 anytime soon, though. That seems to be the one everybody wants. Area 51 is going to need some power to operate, so I wouldn't hold your breath for that one. John Doe says, thank you, Chris, for your streams and time. Thank you, guys. It's been such a busy day. I got home, and I was very excited they did this later, for one, because I could actually be home from work. I can do all this, and I don't have to rush. I don't have to try to get it done. Here's a question. What's the final word on my MK2, which is out of order over here? So someone did give me a good suggestion and said to try different RAM. So I started thinking about it and like, okay, that could easily be all it is. And the RAM, I don't have any more RAM for these computers. As much as I'd love to just fix this one and get it running, I think I'm just going to call it dead, move on. Maybe this weekend I can work on that other computer that's in the cabinet, in the closet, see if I can get Windows 10 running on it. It may be too old of a computer, so I might just have to buy a new computer. All right, I got a question here from Alberto. Do you think it's possible that Arcade1Up made a real size cabinet replica? Sure they could, but the big problem with the reason they don't usually make the cabinets taller is apparently licensing. If they made the cabinets any taller than they are without, doesn't matter if you set it on something, but if the whole cabinet was one piece and was as tall as they are, riser on them, they have to apparently pay, this is what I've heard, you have to apparently pay a higher licensing fee, meaning the cabinet's going to be way more expensive. So at 3/4 scale, they can get by, and they may have made one as a prototype, but I don't see them making one anytime soon. And part of the problem is if they made a full-size replica of, like, say, Mortal Kombat, and it looked exactly like the old Midway cabinet, the big issue is the same issue I have. I would much rather have the real thing. I can't fit it in here. So Arcade1Up makes a perfect smaller size version. So I don't see them doing that. It seems like it just doesn't make sense for them, really. An answer like, oh, okay, actually, it doesn't look like there's any more questions, so it might be a good idea to wrap it up. That dude's drooling over the Area 51. It'll happen probably one of these days, but you have to have about a Core i5 processor of some kind, a decent Core i5 to run it, I think. Arcade1Up's not there yet, unless maybe they work with somebody who just gives them cheap hardware somehow, and I don't know how it's going to work, really. Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll probably wrap it up. It's been almost 30 minutes. I'm going to run downstairs, edit this video for the people who don't want to sit around for 30 minutes and watch me talk on a live stream, which I understand. I'm going to try to cut this video down to about 5 minutes, get the news out for everybody, and then I'm going to probably go to sleep because, believe it or not, talking is exhausting. I'm talking way too much today. So thank you guys for hanging out on the previous stream. Thanks for hanging out on this stream. Thank you for being subscribers. I got a bunch of subscribers from the last stream, so I appreciate that. If you're one of the new subscribers, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're new to this channel, if you're finding me from Instagram, please subscribe. I can't say that enough. I know it's obnoxious probably to you guys, but it helps out the channel. Zach McDonald, you enjoyed as always. Thank you. John Doe, see you guys later. And I might stream again this weekend. You never know. Maybe I'll stream Sunday. I think I'll be busy all day Saturday, but maybe I'll stream this weekend and we'll play some games rather than me just talking nonstop. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you on the next one.